say good morning, everyone. Good morning. It's good to be in the house of the Lord one more time. Lord, you have brought us through the 5th month, the first Sunday of 2020. We are thankful. As we look around, we can see today there's a lot of people that have been here in January 1. It's not here today.
Yes.
But Lord, we just want to say thank you for allowing us to be in the house one more time. Lord, be with the sick and shed everywhere. With the Marie family, Lord, touch them in a special way today, Lord. There are many people that have lost loved ones. Some to this virus and some to regular sickness, Lord, but just touching them and be them and lift them up. You know, when I was here and hear people talking about the virus, you know, I was kind of like, no, I should learn about it until it affected someone close to my family.
Yes, sir.
There is a mean sickness.
Yes, sir.
It don't take long to kick you out of here. But Lord, I want to say thank you for allowing us to be here today.
Hallelujah. Yes, sir.
And touch my wife. She is real down.
Yes, sir.
She is sick too.
Glory. The blood. Yes, sir.
Say thank you anyway, Lord, for what it is. It could be a lot worse than what it is. But Lord, thank you for this day, Lord. Just strengthen us as we go through this day, Lord. Strengthen her, Lord. Be with her, Lord. In Jesus' name. Amen.
You are great and marvelous God. You are great and marvelous. You are great.
screaming live while we're screaming live on this morning. A man that hath brains must first show himself friendly. We here at the Mount Hermon Missionary Baptist Church, we love our brothers and our sisters. So we thank God for you. We thank God for you just sharing in our worship experience with us on this morning. Here we serve great God. We give him a great praise. We are great people. So we welcome you here, worshiping with us from Mount Hermon Missionary Baptist Church. At this time, we will now have the pastor of this amazing church come forward. We bless God for Pastor Adair Black. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
Well, great God, great praise, great people. God bless you this day. God is good, and his mercy endureth forever. Oh, magnify the Lord with me, and let us exalt his name together. This poor man cried, and the Lord heard him and delivered him out of them all. Can you do me a favor right where you are? Can you just, in your room, your living room, your bedroom, your car, just begin to take about 12 seconds and begin to say something nice unto God. He is a good God, and he deserves great praise. Amen. Nobody knows from the depths of your soul that which you need from the Lord. They don't know exactly what the Lord has done for you. So take about 12 seconds and begin to magnify the Lord together. Come on, right where you are. Just make an altar, make a sanctuary right where you are, and worship him in the beauty. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. If it wasn't for your love, if it wasn't for your grace, I don't know where I'd be without you. If it wasn't for your love, oh, if it wasn't for your grace, I don't know. Time we gotta leave this moment. If it was for your love, I don't know where I'd be without you. Oh, bless his name, bless his name. Amen. God bless you today. To the leadership of the Mount Hermon Church, we greet you with Jesus' joy. To our deacons, to our trustees, to Minister Fulton, who has led us. Our welcome today to our music ministry, our musicians, to our finance committee, and you, the Mount Hermon Church, the city of Bishopville, Lee County, and to you, our friends here, there, and everywhere. We say praise the Lord. I want to stand today, just a few observations before we go into the word of the Lord. We are praying for all those, and we're grateful to all doctors, nurses, medical technicians, executive secretaries who are making appointments, and law enforcement. We thank you. You're on the front line serving. You are putting your own self in harm's way to serve the citizens of America and the citizens of the world. And we thank you, and we are praying for you that God will cover you. Praying for the morticians and funeral directors who are having to serve families during this time of pandemic. You are having to adjust how we comfort families during this time. Today, Mount Hermon, I stand to share with our congregation a man who is a pillar of this church, who's been a part of the Mount Hermon Church for many years, he and his family. His son, Jerry Adams Jr., is one of our deacons here at the Mount Hermon Church. We stand to announce the transition of Jerry Adams Sr., who is a significant supporter in presence, in words of encouragement here at the Mount Hermon Church. He was with us the last time we gathered together. He was in worship service. He's been sick in his body for many years, and even the family and I, we have joy, we have hope, because he was a walking miracle. He outlived the doctor's death notice. He should have been dead over 18 months ago. But he walked around in strength, happy, and enjoy for 18 months past the time when the doctor said that he should have been dead. We're praying for Mother Adams, to Deacon Adams, to the siblings, to all the daughters and sons, the grandkids. We're praying for the Adams family. Pop Adams will be missed here at the Mount Hermon Church. His support, his laughter, his words of encouragement as I am greeting the saints as we're leaving the worship service. I always look forward to joking with he and Mother Adams. Amen. They were older up in age, but they were one of our youngest couples here. And I ask you to keep the family in prayer. To our leaders of our auxiliaries, you receive instructions on how we're to minister to the Adams family during this week. And I thank you for answering that clarion call to serving the Adams family during this time of bereavement. We also stand today to let you know that the homegoing service of Pop Adams will be on Thursday at 11 a.m. here in the sanctuary. We're going to observe the guidelines of the CDC. We know that Pop Adams served the city of Bishopville for more than 34 years. The whole city wants to come out to honor this man. But unfortunately, we're not able to accommodate all who would love to come. We want to make room for the family. There are specific leaders and specific, of course, our doorkeepers will be in place. But the funeral will be here Thursday at 11 a.m. You'll be able to view that via the live stream of our Facebook. And we do have space in our fellowship hall where you'll be able to view the services. That's if you would desire to come. My tenure here at the Mount Hermon Church began March 2016 by the recommendation and Pastor Andre Barnes, who at that time was serving as pastor here. With his recommendation and with the approval of the congregation of the Mount Hermon Church, second Sunday in March of 2016, I began pastoring this church. Upon coming to the Mount Hermon Church, it's been my rule, it has been my practice that all former pastors of the Mount Hermon Church is to be honored and to be held in high esteem. I'm blessed. I'm the 12th pastor of the Mount Hermon Church, 121 years. At the time of me becoming the pastor of Mount Hermon Church, there were 4 living former pastors of the Mount Hermon Church. In the person of Reverend James Hudley, Reverend John Williams, Reverend Rodney B. James, Reverend Andre Barnes. Since that time, 2 of those persons have gone on to be with the Lord. The Reverend Rodney James went on to be with the Lord in December of 2016. Reverend John Williams came and shared in the homegoing service of Mother Rosa Friesen in March of 2017. He and Reverend Hudley. We received he and Reverend Hudley with love. And he came to share in June of 2017 and preach here, the former pastor of the Mount Hermon Church. Reverend John Williams went on to be with the Lord on Friday, transitioned from earth to glory. And I've been in contact with his daughter and his wife. Mount Hermon, let us keep this family in prayer. He served this church. There were a lot of community things that the Mount Hermon Church did under his leadership. Before it was known in our community, the black community that is, Mount Hermon had a Little League baseball team in the 80s. Businesses were created out of this congregation. And our church is going to mourn the loss of Reverend John Williams. We will be with that family during their homegoing service when that time comes. We ask you to pray for them, and we're going to go to the word of the Lord. Let's pray for the Adams family. And let's pray for the Williams family. Amen. Matthew 28. It won't always be like this. Matthew 28, chapter 28, verse 11. The Lord will perfect that's concerning me. Adams and Williams family, sooner or later, it's gonna turn in your favor. Oh, it's turning around for me. Lord have mercy. Can you hear me say it? It won't always be like this. Oh, the Lord will perfect that concerning me. Sooner or later, sooner or later, it's gonna turn in my favor. It's turning around. It's turning around for me. One more time. It won't always be. It won't always be like this. Lord will perfect. Yes, Lord. Lord have mercy. Turning my favor. It's turning around for me. Matthew chapter 28, verse 11, and it says, Now when they were going, behold, some of the watch came into the city, and showed unto the chief priests all the things that were done. And when they were assembled with the elders and had taken counsel, they gave large money unto the soldiers, saying, Say this, his disciples came by night and stole him away while we slept. And if this come to the governor's ears, we will persuade him and secure you. So they took the money and did as they were taught. And this belief, this saying, is commonly reported among the Jews unto this day. I want to talk for a few moments this morning. This is good news, not fake news. This is good news, not fake news. We are still in the post-resurrection time which Jesus already died on the cross, buried in the tomb, and he's already been resurrected the third day morning. We're now in post-resurrection. We are in between resurrection and the Feast of Pentecost. There were a lot of discussion that was going on after the resurrection of Jesus. There were nervousness, tension, anxiety that was going on. It amazes me that even we are in this pandemic, the pandemic and the response of this pandemic is quite mirroring the same tone that which during the time after Jesus' resurrection. We are nervous. They are nervous. Not sure of who to believe or who not to believe. That was going on then, and that is going on now. Most recently, America has heard or been introduced to the term fake news. And to many, they may believe that the term fake news is a new term that has been used or is being used by our present sitting president. But that term, fake news, or the connotation of fake news, really is not a new term. It really is a term or a connotation dated back to Adolf Hitler, and he leading the Nazis. Adolf Hitler used fake news, the term fake news, as a weapon against the media. So therefore, he can control the narrative of what is to be put in the ears and in the eye gate of that country. Yes, I know that it is a term that is contentious right now in our government. We thought that President Trump is reading from the playbook of Adolf Hitler. But Adolf Hitler was not the first one to project or to push the theory of fake news. We see it in our text today, and after the post-resurrection, after Jesus got up out of the grave, we see that there is this strong pursuit to push fake news. Because Jesus announced to them and said that no man takes my life. I lay it down because if I lay it down, I can take it back up again. Jesus told them as Jonah was in the belly of the fish for 3 days and 3 nights, I will be in the heart of the earth for 3 days and 3 nights. Jesus told them, you may destroy the temple, but in 3 days I'm going to raise it back up again. Jesus announced to them what was to happen as it relates to his death and his resurrection. And now, after Jesus done exactly what he said he was going to do, and if I could put a quarter in a meter and park there, can I tell somebody who's watching or who's in this room that if God said it, take him at his word. God is able to do exactly what he said he's going to do. And Jesus rose on the 3rd day morning, and there is now conversation among the soldiers and the Pharisees and the high priests of trying to throw propaganda and show and to spread fake news and say Jesus did not get up out of the grave. There are 3 points I want to bring to your attention this morning. And the first point I want to bring to you today is that after Jesus got up out of the grave, there were confused constituents. The city, the town, heard that which Jesus was to get up out of the grave, and now there is rumor that he's out of the grave. There is confusion going on because there was instructions to the soldiers to sit watch at the tomb of Jesus, seal up the stone in front of the tomb of Jesus, and watch day and night to make sure he does not get out of the tomb. Is it interesting? Because immediately after the burial of Jesus, the chief priests and the Pharisees went to Pilate because they remember that Jesus said that in 3 days he was going to rise again. Pilate gives permission for them to put watch and guard at the tomb of Jesus. Seal up the tomb. In other words, seal up access to capital. Does that look like now when our community and those of our race go to the bank and try to educate ourselves more? They seal up resources to our community, seal up access to capital, put predatory loan companies in the African American communities, increase the cost of health care, depreciate the value of higher learning. There are more African Americans who have higher education degrees, but yet now they're telling us that all of that is not necessary. And if you have a bachelor's, if you have a master's, you cannot get a job because they'll say you overqualified. To me, it sounds like they're trying to seal up us trying to progress. Yes, they depreciate the value of higher learning. Put student loans on credit report, because although you have a degree, you won't be able to purchase a home or purchase property because they report your student loans on your credit report. Come on, stay close to me here. They call it criminal activity if our culture is addicted to crack. But when they get addicted to opioids, call it an illness. It sounds like they're trying to seal up something. We're going to seal the gate of the young black boy, because when we put him in school, school, we will put different things in place and disciplinary measurements that will know by the 3rd grade if we need to build a prison cell for him or not. We'll seal it up, the plight of the black man, increase the incarceration time higher than that of our counterparts. To me, brothers and sisters, there's a ceiling going on. There is a stoppage that is going on right among the church. People are telling us not to pray. People are telling us not to have faith. People are telling us not to believe in Christ Jesus. They're trying to seal up our belief. They'll tell you to be quiet in church. It don't take all of that. Why are you praising God? I'm knowing and looking at you what you're going through. Why are you praising God? They're trying to seal up your mouth. But I wish I had somebody who's watching in this room that say that although you're trying to seal up my praise, you can't seal up my mouth because God has been so good to me. And after all that which Pilate told the soldiers to do, he told them to set watch at the tomb. Watch, make sure that he doesn't get out, or make sure nobody gets in. Notice, brothers and sisters, Jesus still got out. They were confused constituents. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, that confusion was not in what happened. It was, how did this happen? There are people who are looking at you and seeing that you don't have it all together. You have not dotted every I. You have not crossed every T. And they are confused. You know, there are people who have set you up for failure. There's people who have scandalized your name, who have blocked you. And when after all they've done to block you and you still make it, they are confused, not in what happened. They're confused in how did this happen. After everything we've done to stop it, it still happened. Lord, I feel like shouting this morning because I come to tell somebody that can't nobody stop for God from doing what he's going to do. I come to announce to you right in your situation that God is sovereign. I know the bank said no. I know the doctor said it don't look good. But after all people have done to stop the plan of Jesus, I come to tell you it's still going to happen. Will you tell somebody? I'll put it in the comment section. Tell somebody it's still going to happen. I know you feel like giving up. I know that child is getting on your nerve. I know you want to walk away from the marriage. But tell somebody it's still going to happen. It's still going to happen. Yes, they were confused constituents. Notice with me, my brothers and sisters, verse 13 and verse 14. They had a conversation telling them, say that his disciples came by night and stole him away while we slept. The second thing I want to bring to your attention, not only were they confused constituents, but they wanted to control chaotic conversations. They wanted to control the chaotic conversations. Yeah, chaos has caused them to conjure up and erroneous accusations. Isn't it amazing that when people want to throw fake news and they want to stop something, they will come up with erroneous accusations. They will blame you for stuff that you have nothing to do with. They'll put your name in a rumor. They'll put your name, they'll add a scandal to your name. It don't even fit your personality. They'll say such and such killed somebody and you're the nicest person in town. Because when there's chaotic things going on, they want to have erroneous accusations. They wanted to control the narrative. They wanted to control the conversation. Fake news, false witnesses, impeachable offenses. They will blame you for impeachable offenses, but they're refusing to convict. They'll say stuff like China did it. It's a hoax. They would even tell you to inject yourself with Lysol and disinfectant chemicals in the veins. It sounds like chaos to me. They want to control the narrative, control chaotic conversations. They'll say we got enough ventilators already. They'll say the federal government has absolute power, but they'll turn right around and say, but the states, it's up to you to fight for your own. Can I tell you that the devil is dumb and delusional? The devil is dumb and delusional to think that you're going to fall for his tricks and his treats. But the God I serve, he gave me, I feel like helping here. Help me find my way. Here, they wanted to insert false narratives into the social media platforms. People look at your life and they'll see that you have a wonderful home. They'll see that you have a wonderful job. And they'll say that you had to kiss up to get that. They'll say that you were selling drugs to drive what you're driving. They'll say that you sold out to get what you have. But you have to look at them and tell them the devil is a lie. The reason why I have what I have, one of the reasons is because I'm a tither. And the other reason is because God knows that I will give him the glory. I won't think it's because of me, myself, and I, but I'll say that every good and perfect gift comes from the Lord. Is there anybody here that's got a testimony that God did it? I don't care what the chaotic conversation is. You keep your praise unto God. There's a child, you got it going on. Repeat it. Look back at them and say, no, to God be the glory for the great things that he has done. I got to go to my seat here, my brothers and sisters. Not only were there confused constituents, not only did they want to control the chaotic conversations, but lastly, my brothers and sisters, if you notice in verse 15, so they took the money and did as they were taught. And this lie, it's amazing now that the lie are trying to stay around longer than the truth. But one thing about a lie is that a lie has an expiration date. Or I wish I had somebody in here today. Not only were they confused constituents, not only did they want to control the chaotic conversation, but they were compensation for compliance. Can I tell you here, my brothers and sisters, they're now saying out in the world, don't take a knee to protest police violence. If you comply with the lie, we will give you a stimulus package. If you comply with the lie, we will give you a tax break. If you comply with the lie, we will increase your SNAP benefits. We will sign you to an NFL team if you comply with the lie. But just don't take a knee protesting police brutality. If you blame the World Health Organization and blame and don't criticize me or tweet about me, I'll endorse you for re-election. I'll make sure your state get the first of the CARE Act money. And the other states that don't comply with the how of what they make me look bad. In other words, they wanted a quid pro quo. I wish I had somebody here today. They told the soldiers to comply with the lie, and we'll give you some money. That's what I came to tell you today. That the devil will bring things into your life. He will take you on the mountaintop and tell you, if you worship me, I'll give you all of the lands. I'll give you all of the kingdoms. How can you give God what's already his? I want to tell somebody here today, you've been discouraged by the fake news that's going on in your life. You've been discouraged about people lying on you, scandalizing your name. But I came to tell somebody that it's not fake news, but it's good news. And all we need right now is a little good news. And the good news is that Jesus was born, that he was born, that he lived, he died, of good news. Because if Jesus was just born, it would have just been news, but not the gospel. If Jesus would have just did miracles, it would have been just news, but not the gospel. If Jesus would have just died, it would have just been news, but not the gospel. If Jesus was just buried, it would have been news, but not the gospel. But his resurrection seals our redemption. Because he lives, I can face tomorrow. Yes, because he lives, all fear is gone, and life is worth the living. Just because he lives, I want to tell somebody, the devil trying to make you think you're going to lose all you got. But I came to tell somebody, you're going to make it. I say you're going to make it. You're going to make it. You're going to make it. You're going to get through this. It's your season to have the victory. Say yes. This is the good news. And the good news is, I got a testimony. Yes. After all, I've been through. I still got joy. Still got a praise. Because it's good news. Living, he loving. Dying, he saving. Buried, he carried mine. Sins for me. He justified me, free me forever. One day, oh, oh, you tell somebody, I'm the good news. Look at me, I'm the good news. Ain't nothing fake about me, I'm the good news. Because one day I was lost. My soul is happy. My soul is happy. This is good news, not fake news. Don't you let nobody tell your testimony. You tell it yourself. And you tell them, no, I ain't embarrassed about that no more. I'm free from that. I'm good news. They wanted to spread the lie. They wanted to spread doubt. But I thank you that he gave me good news. And the good news is the gospel of Jesus Christ. There are people who say that you've done so much, ain't no way you can be saved. You've been on drugs. You've been on this. Let's lift that declaration up again. I know that God will, everybody. I know. We'll be out here by 8:30 singing.